Friendship itself is a strange thing. There's no contract, no formal agreement, no obligation to stay. Just people, for whatever reason, decide to keep showing up in each other's lives. And I think that friendship becomes more complicated as you get older. And when you're young, friendship can feel almost automatic. You go to the same school, you live nearby, you see each other every day. But adulthood pulls people in different directions. Careers become more demanding. People move away. Relationships begin. Families grow. Priorities change. Sometimes friendships survive all of that. Sometimes they change. And sometimes, without any argument or dramatic ending, people simply drift apart. I think that's one of the difficult realities of friendship. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some friendships last decades. Others belong to a particular chapter, a school friend, a colleague from an old job, someone you travelled with, someone who was there in a difficult period in your life. And even if these people eventually disappear from your everyday world, that doesn't necessarily make the friendship a failure. They were part of your story, and you were part of theirs. The day after the pub crawl, I spent the day with my friend John. He came to help me at one of my cider markets. And again, on paper, this wasn't an enormous life event. We weren't travelling across the world. We weren't celebrating something incredible. We were just spending the day together, selling cider, talking to people, and helping each other out. But maybe that's what friendship actually looks like, most of the time. No grand gestures, no dramatic speeches about loyalty, just being there. Helping someone carry something, turning up when they've got a long day ahead of them, listening when something is going wrong, celebrating when something finally goes right, and occasionally spending hours talking about absolute nonsense. Friendship often built in the gaps between these big moments. I sometimes wonder what actually makes a successful life, because we hear a lot about achievement, about salaries, houses, businesses, careers, and investments. We compare where we are, where other people seem to be, and I'm guilty of that. I often think about what I should have achieved by now, or where I should be in 5 years. But when I look back at the happiest moments of my life, they're rarely about the things I bought or the milestones I reached. They're usually simple moments. A walk somewhere, a stupid joke that somehow becomes funny for years, a conversation late at night, travelling somewhere new together, sitting in a pub talking about life, helping each other through something difficult, moments that seem completely ordinary at the time. I think friendship is also about being known. There are people who remember versions of you that no longer exist. They remember the mistakes, the bad haircuts, the terrible ideas, the jobs you hated, the plans that never happened. They've watched you change. And you've watched them change too. There's something comforting about that. In a world where we're constantly meeting new people and presenting ourselves, old friendships carry a history with them. You don't have to explain every part of yourself from the beginning. Some of the story is already understood. Of course, friendship isn't always simple. People disappoint each other. We become busy. Sometimes we don't make enough effort. Sometimes pride gets in the way. Sometimes you realize you've changed in different directions. But perhaps that's why the friendships that survive are so valuable. Because they require something from us. Time, patience, forgiveness. And sometimes the occasional decision to send the first message instead of waiting for someone else to do it. I don't know exactly where all of us will be in 10 or 20 years. Maybe we'll still be doing the same annual pub crawl, probably walking a bit slower. Maybe talking about completely different problems. Some people may have moved away. Some of us might have families. Careers will change, life will change, we will change. But I know that right now, these are the days I'll probably look back on. The walks through the fields, the drinks, the conversation, the stupid jokes, the ordinary days helping a friend, and perhaps that's the point. We spend so much of our lives waiting for life to properly begin, waiting for the promotion, the house, the relationship, the next achievement. But life's already happening, and a large part of what makes it worth living is simply having good people walking alongside you for some of that journey, however long that journey together lasts. And I'm grateful for the people I'm sharing it with. Thank you for watching.